Hey everybody, Abcat here, and today we're going to do an unboxing and a review of the iRobot Roomba 960 model. We finally caved in and got one of these to see what it was all about and see if it was actually worth it. We got the 960 model. There's a bunch of different features and such, and I'm going to go over the in-depth of that later in the video. This one also connects to Wi-Fi. It's going to give you cleaning reports. You can schedule it to clean when you want. And it does a lot of other great things. And again, we're going to go into the details later. Our reason for getting this, we have 3 kids, reverse that, 3 kids and 2 cats. So we have a lot of mess and there's a lot of things on the floor. So I'm a little skeptical of this just taking it out of the box, but let's see how it is. First, we're going to start with the unboxing and let's see what's in the box. Let's get this open. Flip it over. And let's take a look. Wow, it does really look cool. So let's go ahead and take it out of the box. We can feel already the front bumpers. You're going to see those move. And they've got a little cush. This is what it's going to bump into and determine what it's hitting and then adjust accordingly. You can see on the bottom the wheels, nice rubber tires, independent suspension. We have the rollers there. We'll go over those later. A bristle. A front single wheel that's going to allow it to navigate and swivel very easily. So let's see, we have the base station. Again, this is where the Roomba is going to dock. It's going to go back to this home base station when it's done cleaning and recharge itself. We have the manuals. Let's open them up and take a quick look of what's in there. We have a quick start guide, warranty, and the manual itself. Let's see what else we have in the box. Anything under there? Nope. So let's take a look at the back. And we have an extra edge brush, an extra filter that they give you. So let's see what else we have. We have a wall plug. The wall plug is going to attach to the base station and the other end is going to go into your outlet. And then we have 2 AA batteries. It's actually nice they give you 2 AA batteries, but for the price they should. I actually use rechargeables. We'll put these in and give them a shot. And this is the virtual doorstop. The virtual doorstop is pretty cool. The batteries are going to go in there and it gives you 2 options essentially. One halo mode and one as actually a doorstop. So if there's a room in the house that you don't want cleaned, it's actually going to, you put it in front of that door, and if Roomba goes close to the door, it's going to not go in that room. The halo mode is actually, if you had, let's say, pet bowls, you put this by your pet bowls, and it's going to put a circular around it where the Roomba wouldn't go into that area. Okay, we got everything unboxed. I'm just going to quickly go over what exactly was in the box again. So again, we got the warranty, the manual, and a quick start guide, which is cool. We got the actual Roomba robot, which is cool. I'm excited just to see how it does and how it works. And again, this is kind of cool. It's got a little bounce mechanism and some really cool rubber treads on the tires. Extra brush for the bottom, extra filter, base station, plug for the base station. 2 AA batteries, and of course the virtual wall with 2 different modes. We're going to get this set up. We're going to connect it to our app, connect it to Wi-Fi, get everything charged up, and see how we go from there. Kind of excited to see how the Roomba does. Let's see. Hey everybody, we took the outside cellophane off. We put our docking station here, we plugged it into the wall. This isn't going to be the permanent spot, but it's just an easier place to do it. I was actually thinking of hiding this under a tallest chair we have so you actually don't see it. But just for the purposes of this video, we're going to leave it here and then go from there. On the bottom, before you even get started, there's this yellow piece of cardboard. Make sure you pull that out. And we're going to also want to pull out this yellow tab. This is what's preventing the battery from being activated. So just give it a tug there. And there we go. Cool. And I'm going to put it back. And I'm going to put it on the base. Whoa.
Hello, Roomba.
Cool. And it's ready to clean. So we're going to go to our phone and get the app installed, and then we're going to come back and get this. In the meantime, this is going to fully charge itself, and then we can go from there. So we downloaded the app in the last step. Again, you can use iPhone or Android or even an iPad. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to go ahead. There's two things you can do now. We plugged it in, if you remember, in the last step. You'll notice it says clean now. So you can either go to the app on your phone and pair it, or just hit the clean button and let it start doing its thing. Spot and dock buttons are these two. So we're going to press these buttons for 2 seconds. 1, 2, we should hear a sound. There's the sound, we'll release.
You are now connected to Roomba. Please use the iRobot app to complete setup. Your Roomba is fully set up and ready to go. We hope you enjoy your robot.
I can either hit clean from here, or we can just hit clean there. So let's just see if the connection works, and let's hit clean. And there goes Roomba. And Roomba is cleaning. So for our first test, we actually wanted to see how it did. We set up some Cheerios, some goldfish, and some crumpled crackers. And we're going to run Roomba over it to see how it does in sucking things up. And there goes Roomba over the Cheerios, over the goldfish, over the crackers. Looks like it did a really good job. It missed a couple sections. It senses that the floor is dirty, so it actually goes back over the area. And you can see it does a really good job for the amount of crackers and stuff we put down. You can see how well it did. That one goldfish, if it's not on the direct path of the rollers, it gets actually pushed forward, and then eventually, as you can see, it gets scooped up later. It did a really good job of picking up the crackers and such, and I'm actually kind of impressed. We ran the test twice with the Cheerios and the goldfish and the crackers, because we just wanted to make sure, that it did get it up. And you can see again, it actually does a really good job with those big pieces. And crackers, goldfish, again, some get pushed forward. You remember that front swivel wheel? And the swivel wheel, if it hits something before it gets, will push forward. But then again, when it senses dirt, it makes a couple of passes, as you can see it going back and forth, and it does eventually pick up everything and get everything, which is just great. And here it is one more time from the GoPro, from the iRobot itself, the view from the Roomba. And you can see as it goes back, you can see how clean the floor is, everything it got and sucked up. And again, that one item that's on the floor, the one goldfish or two, remember that front swivel wheel sometimes does push the dirt or larger items forward, but it eventually, as it makes a couple of passes and goes over that area again, will get it. And again, just a quick view of actually, I figured it'd be cool to see what the Roomba sees when it cleans, and you can see it bouncing into different things, bounces to see where it's going, and then making its way around. Just thought it'd be interesting to get the perspective from the device itself and as it's in action. Again, it bumps into a lot of things when it cleans, but again, that's how it senses where things are at. And this was my big fear initially with the iRobot Roomba, the fact that a lot of times we do have clutter on the floor with the kids, and you can see here, this was some Lego train track that my son was building. Obviously, he wasn't happy in this situation, but you can see here's some Thomas the Train. Again, depending upon what it is, it does a decent job of going over with that independent suspension. But again, sometimes it'll get caught even though it makes it over, and the track will move forward. Again, not a major issue, just forces us to pick things up. And I guess the best way to describe the Roomba, how it cleans, is very methodically. It goes back and forth over certain areas, sensing where it is, and then it cleans those areas again and again if necessary. It will tell you in the reports, if you have the Wi-Fi model, of actually the dirt level and what it's cleaning and what it's getting up. So when you do need to empty the bin flashes red on the Roomba, and you can see that it needs to be changed. If you do have a Wi-Fi model, you go into the app will show you a red bin on the app, and again, that means you need to empty the bin. So again, the dust bin, as I'm going to show you in a moment, is rather small. You have to empty it frequently. If you have carpet, we have to empty it once a day when it does do the carpet. You can see what it gets in there. There's a lot of dust. It gets up all the cat litter. As we showed you in the tests earlier, it does a really good job on the crackers, the goldfish, the Cheerios. There's really nothing on the floor after. The floors do look immaculate. So let's do a close-up of the bin again. There is a filter I showed you in the beginning. It comes with a spare filter. After that, the first two, you have to buy it. It hasn't told us yet that we need to change the filter. You can see there's a spring in there that holds the filter in place, and it's very easy. You can see how quickly and how dusty it gets. Very easy to put in. Just push, snap down, close the top, and it's pretty much closed and ready to go. Again, when we open it up and take a look at the size of the bin, it's obviously not that big. So again, depending upon what's on your floor and what it's picking up, you actually have to dump this out pretty frequently. If you are doing a lot of carpet, we find with the carpet, it's once a day. So we wanted to put it upstairs. We have 2 levels to our house. So when you have to actually carry it up the stairs, you put it upstairs, and the question is, will it fall down the stairs? And the answer is absolutely not. It senses, as you can see, where the stairs are and stops. Goes to the very edge of the stairs and around, but does not fall down the stairs in our testing. So you don't have to worry about that at all. It'll continue going. The other thing it does is very well is those bumpers in the beginning that I showed you, it senses where furniture is, and it works its way using those bumpers and all its technology around the object. So you can see there's a stool near our bed and the bedpost. It actually works its way methodically around that post to clean around the area. And again, it goes over some of these areas if it senses dust more frequently. And then it goes on its way. And you can see one more time as it heads towards the steps, it goes very close to the steps, but never falls off the steps. It goes back and forth, and you can see it works its way around the edges by the steps, doing a great job cleaning. And there's the cat. The cats do not like the Roomba. They have yet to ride on the Roomba. You can see it doing an edge cleaning by the steps, which is pretty amazing that it knows where the edge is and what it's doing. And this is the virtual doorstop I was telling you. It's got 2 modes, the halo mode and the basically doorstop mode, where it prevents it from going into a room. Very easy to do. It's got sensors and lights. You flick it up for the doorstop mode and down for the halo mode. And we're going to flick it up and then put it between a door and show you actually how it works here. It's going to actually be put in this door, and you can see as Roomba approaches, the doorstop is there. It's about a 6 to 8 inch buffer. So it senses past it, as we'll show you in the next couple of tests. And you can see Blackberry the cat and the Roomba coming down. And it will stop by the room. Notice it's got that 6 to 8 inch buffer and continue. So it will not go in this room. This was my son's room we put it in. Again, toys on the floor. And one more time, you can see the virtual doorstop. It gets to the edge, it knows it's there, and turns around and continues to clean. Here we moved it in the room. I wanted to just show you different positions to get an idea of how versatile this virtual doorstop is. We placed it in a different point. I actually set it far across the room, and you can see the clutter on the right side. My son keeps some toys out, Thomas the Train stuff, and you can see it basically goes a good 18 to 20 feet across, and it actually stops from going in the room. You notice it sees it, it turns around, and it goes, and there goes Blackberry the cat out of the way. And we tried it in a different position again, just to give you an idea of how many different ways you can use it. And this is the virtual doorstop. When you put it down, it goes into halo mode. And again, this is really great. We're going to do a demonstration with the cat's water and food bowl. If you put it here, it creates a circular half circle around the bowls. There's Peaches the cat eating some food. And we're going to go over and give it a minute and start the Roomba and actually show you how it avoids that area around there. And you can see the virtual halo in action there. It avoids it and keeps going on its way. And one more time, it's going to head back around to where we have the virtual halo set up with the virtual doorstop, and you can see it avoids the bowls, turns, and continues cleaning. And I just wanted to show you the bottom again. There's the 2 charging points that connect and where it charges once it docks on the base station. You have the rolling wheel at the front. You got the edge brush. Again, the wheels, good rubber construction with grips, some sensors, independent suspension. And you can see, very easy to clean, the bin on the back. This two slide out, and you can get to it very easily if you needed to clean the inside or if something gets jammed. And you notice how easy the rollers lift out. There's usually some hair on the end, so we clean those off. So I always take the hair out. Kind of disgusting, but that's what builds up. What makes this nice is that if you ever need parts or the rollers do wear out, they're very easy to replace and you can do it on your own. You don't need to take it somewhere to get it done. You can do all this on your own. Once the rollers do wear down, you can do that. The question is, if you do take it out and you forget which way it goes, there are actually color stripes at the bottom. So you actually, if you forget, wait, which is in front, which is in back, oh, that's not a problem. It's not an issue at all. They actually were smart enough. Come in closer and we'll take a look. And you can see there's two color-coded strips there. And those color-coded strips match the rollers. So dark gray to the back, light gray to the front. Just push, snap, and twist a little, and they go in very, very easily, which is nice. And it's really nice that you can do a lot of this yourself and change pieces if you did need to. If the rollers wear out, you just close the top once you're done. Give it a roll, and you're good to go. Flip it over. Again, you can take a quick look at the dustbin, and that leads from the dustbin to through that hole there to where we just cleaned out. And again, if something does get jammed through the bottom, it's very easy to clean out and take it apart. It's very easy to do all this on your own, which is the great thing about this. It's very serviceable, and everything's easy to get to. So once again, with the Wi-Fi model, which are all the models except one, I just wanted to go into the app again and just show you quickly a couple of nice little things. Here you'll see the flashing exclamation mark when you launch it. It tells you that there's something wrong. So if you click on it, you can actually go in. Usually it'll lead you to help features, and it'll give you common problems and solutions, diagrams, and such in the app, which is very nice to try and resolve whatever the issue might be. Well, you can also go in and see the cleaning history, different statistics, when it cleaned, what happened, red exclamation, it got stuck, something happened to it. You know, the cleaning days, total square footage, how much it cleaned. Again, red being not successful finishing, green being successful. Here's that map that it'll generate on the higher models. It'll show you the dirt level, the square foot, and it'll actually map features of your house. In the future model, it actually shows you in beta, which is nice that they add features. It shows you the Wi-Fi. So as it goes around, it's telling you what the Wi-Fi levels were in your house. And again, just here's another map. You can see certain days, depending upon what you see on the map will change based on obstructions, clutter, things you might leave on the floor. The map will then change based on that. And again, on that quick one before, you could see the exclamation mark now of actually where it got stuck or what there was an issue in that area, which was pretty close to its home docking station. You can click through all these events and see the completion, the maps. Here it got stuck. This was my daughter's room. She had left her bed down, her quilt, I mean. And again, here's another map of a successful cleaning and that it did make it back to the home base station. It tells you a level here that there was a dirt level of 3 and that it successfully cleaned, the time. Gives you a lot of stats and information, which is great to see, which is nice. You can go in, you can change the settings, adjust things. Most of it can be done through the app. Hey everybody, AdCat here. How you doing? We're back for the conclusion and review part of our iRobot Roomba 960 review. We did the unboxing earlier. We've had this for a little over 2 weeks. So I'm going to give you our impressions, what we think, what we liked, what we didn't like. To be quite honest, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I was very skeptical of the iRobot Roomba. I was like, not sure, on the fence about having the vacuum going around by itself. But after 2 uses, it's absolutely amazing. So do we love it? Yes. Let me just talk about the couple of negatives first. So when we got it, I thought you can actually, once it mapped your house, you can actually say, okay, go to the cat litter box. I mentioned we have 2 cats. and clean around the litter box 2 or 3 times a day. You can schedule this to clean, but it'll clean everything. You can't schedule it to clean a section that's already been mapped, because the maps are just show you where it cleaned each time. So if there's something blocking a door or an obstacle, that area doesn't get cleaned the next time, and it'll show you that on the map. But the maps aren't for scheduling. You can schedule within the app, so you can say, have the Roomba clean, 10 a.m. every day or every other day. You can schedule that with the app, but you can't say, go out 5 times near the litter box and clean that area. A negative, again, not a major negative. I was just optimistic. I'd love it to do that. So if that's iRobot, if you're listening, please add that feature, because we love that. The other thing that I wasn't, again, it's not a massive negative. The bin that you change, and you've seen this in the other part of the video, and I'll show you this again, the part where it stores the dust and the garbage is actually small. When you want to actually clean another part, if you have multiple floors, you can do that, but you have to pick it up. No big deal. Again, walk up the steps, you put it down, you hit the clean button, it does its thing. I find that on the wood floors versus downstairs, our downstairs floors, we have 2 rooms with carpet, that the bin is always full after it cleans the carpet. So those are really the 3 negatives. Are they really negatives? Not really. The dustbin is a little small. You have to empty it. On carpet a little more. Again, not a big deal, because you're not vacuuming. It's doing its thing. We set it to go out at various times in the day. The other thing that kind of is the negative or not, that's more our fault and our usage. It really depends on you of how well this is going to do. And the reason I say that is because clutter is kind of the enemy of the iRobot. So if you come home, you throw your sneakers on the floor, you drop your book bag on the floor, and you have it go while that stuff is there, this is going to bump into it, and sometimes it will get snagged. A couple of instances where this has gotten stuck. My daughter's blanket. Sometimes the kids don't make their beds. So once or twice my daughter left her blanket half on the bed, half off the bed, but on the floor. Roomba would come, try and clean, and get stuck. We found it stuck with the blanket twice. It doesn't really get stuck with hairs and other things. Like I said, with the cats, it's not an issue. It will go around, it navigates, it finds its way around tables, chairs. It can go under our upstairs bed. Most of the beds it can make it under that don't have boxes or storage under the beds. It gets the corners great. This one has a specific edge cleaning. So those are the negatives. The positive, it does an unbelievable job of cleaning. And I'll just say that again, unbelievable. I was shocked, and my wife was shocked. And my wife is a clean fanatic, but it does an amazing job. We've come home, and you look at the floors after the Roomba's gone, and you know it's clean. It methodically goes around and cleans every nook and cranny it can get to. And then it'll go over it again if it senses a lot of dirt, and it does its own thing. It maps its way, finds its way. Again, cleaning up the litter box, as you saw in the tests I did, there was no real obstacle in terms of it sucking things up. We did goldfish, we did crackers, we had cat litter, dust, grime on the floor, you name it, it picked it up. And the floors really do look great. When you start cleaning with it, and if you have it run every day or every other day, it really looks, the floors look amazing. And I gotta say that, they do look amazing. So setup on this was also a breeze. I just wanna mention that as well. Installing the app, getting your Roomba account set up, very easy. It's an intuitive interface, so as you do things, if you do decide to get the Wi-Fi version and you do set it up through the app, it's very easy. This talks back to you every step of the way. They really have fine-tuned the setup. It makes it very, very easy. So if you're worried about that, it's a piece of cake to use the app with it, get it connected to your Wi-Fi. A couple other things. Again, this is the Wi-Fi model. So with the Wi-Fi model, you have 2 options. You can either press the clean button and it'll start to clean manually, or you can go to the app, hit the clean button, or through the app schedule. Again, you can schedule for a time to go around every day of the week or whatever days you want. When it's done with cleaning, it actually goes back to the base station itself and charges itself. It makes its way back and charges it. The only time it doesn't do that is in the couple instances that I mentioned that it does get stuck. The other nice thing that I wanted to mention is that they are improving the app, and they do add little beta functions. So one of the new things in the time that we've been using it, In the app, they've actually added, so aside from mapping the floor of where it's going, it'll tell you the Wi-Fi signal in your house. So if you do have a big house and you were curious of where the Wi-Fi signal is strong or weaker, it actually will give you a map. Again, it's only in beta, they're still testing it, but it's nice to know they are adding these new features into it. The other rumor that I'd like to dispel, you've seen in all the commercial, the cats riding around of it. Our cats, both of them, and you can hear one of them in the background, they hate the Roomba. They are not Roomba fans. When the Roomba runs, they're moving around it. They watch it a little, almost like they're ready to pounce on it, but they don't touch it. Nobody's ridden the Roomba. We've yet to have one of the cats hop on the Roomba and go for a ride or anything like that. So the cats aren't big fans of the Roomba. But with that being said, we love it. Again, I think it's an awesome device. It's well built. It's well made. So everything in the house has been cleaner. So aside from the floors being cleaner, the kids have been putting away their toys better and cleaning up in general, making their beds better, and at least making sure things are off the floor. It does an amazing job working, and I gotta say, a couple of times we got an alert, and I showed this in the video as well, that something was jammed, and it's very easy to take this apart. It is really just pressing. You know, you're lifting up, the rollers come out as I showed in the video. It's a really well-designed product, and it's very durable. Independent suspension, which is nice. And as I showed you in the video, when you do put it in your steps or upstairs, it senses the steps and it's not going to fall down the steps, so you don't have to worry about it. Again, when we want to clean upstairs, we're taking it upstairs, putting it down, hitting the clean button, and it does its thing. It'll beep and let us know when it's done, and you'll get alerts on the app as to when it's done. So again, the iRobot Roomba 960 gets our Best Product Award. We highly recommend this. So what do you guys think? You like it? You don't like it? If you have a Roomba, what issues have you had? Do you have any issues? Do you think it's worth the money? Please put all this in the comments below because we want to know what you think, and I want to help you answer questions if you have them. Tell us what you think of the review. Give us a thumbs up, a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Would be really great if you subscribe. If you like the reviews, if you like things that we're doing, we have a lot of different types of reviews coming, a lot of products, some tech products, a couple of cooking things. We're doing a lot of different things, so please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful for you, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.